Thank you, man. Good morning. Good to see you. We did have some fun in the first hour. Are you ready to have some fun too? Good. We have a quorum. 4 of you said yes. We'll move forward. As Lane already mentioned, we're going to do a kind of a two-part mini-series this Sunday and next Sunday that I'm calling Living the Life You Were Meant to Live. And today I'm just going to give you a simple word of encouragement. It'll be very simple. In fact, what I'm going to try to do today is just paint a portrait in your minds of what a mission-driven life might look like. By the way, do you ever get frustrated with yourself? You know better. You know you're supposed to be living out the purposes of God and you're supposed to live a purpose-driven, mission-driven life, but do you ever feel like you're driven more by maintenance than mission? Just kind of, keep the boat afloat, pay the mortgage, get the kids off to school and paint the fence and you feel like you're just treading water rather than swimming forward. This morning, I'm going to try to drive deeply into your spirit, into your mind, what it means to live out a mission-driven life. It was about 50 years ago that Admiral Joe Fowler was introduced to the world. You see, Walt Disney was sitting down with his inner circle about 50 years ago, and he began to dream out loud about building a theme park. His staff said, "What's a theme park?" This was all new. And he started just casting vision for building what he called Disneyland. And he said, "I already know the man I want to choose to oversee this project." His staff said, "Who?" He said, "I don't know his name, but I know who it is." He said, "I want you to find me the man that put the United States Navy back in the Pacific Ocean after Pearl Harbor." Well, they scampered about the land and they came up with this man's name. His name was Admiral Joe Fowler. When Walt Disney sat down with Joe Fowler, he began to cast vision for this thing, and Joe kind of snickered. He said, "Hey, I just won World War II. I just put the Navy, and you want me to work for a guy that draws cartoons for a living?" Well, Disney wouldn't take no for an answer. And even though Joe Fowler kept coming back with the line, "I'm through, I'm retired," and he was, by the way, Disney kept insisting. And finally, he cast vision hard enough and long enough that Joe Fowler bought into it. And at the age of 56, Joe Fowler started a whole new career, and he built Disneyland. But that wasn't the end. Mr. "I'm retired, I'm through" was called upon years later when Disney came back and said, "We want to build Disney World now in Orlando, Florida." They called upon Joe Fowler, and at age 77, Joe Fowler oversaw the building of Walt Disney World. And then in 1982, 10 years later, at the age of 87, Disney wanted to build the Epcot Center. Do you remember those days? And they went back to Admiral Joe Fowler. Joe Fowler's phrase changed, by the way, over time. Instead of continuing to say, "I'm finished, I'm through, I'm retired," his favorite phrase was at the end of the journey, "You don't have to die till you want to."
Sample complete. Ready to continue?